Mayor Allen, it is 6:30, so you may proceed with the meeting.
Thank you. All right, call the meeting to order. Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Councillor Ma and Deputy Mayor Coughlin, that the special meeting of the Council of the Township of Springwater of February 22nd, 2021 come to order at 6:30 p.m. All those in favor? It is carried. Due to COVID-19, we're taking the necessary steps to limit in-person meetings by streaming this meeting with council and staff attending via Zoom. Residents can watch the live streaming by tuning into the Springwater website, www.springwater.ca/live, or they can listen by phone by dialing 647-558-0588 and using the ID 868-7887-3203 #. Or you can, if you want to look at it afterward, go on the YouTube channel via the Springwater website. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest, Council, with respect to the matters of this evening? Okay, can I have a mover and seconder to call this public meeting to order, please? Councillor Cabral and Councillor Moore, that this public meeting of council held under Section 34 of the Planning Act for application ZB 2020-016, Pretty be called to order at 6:31 p.m. All those in favor? That is carried. Welcome to this public meeting of Springwater Township Council held in compliance with Section 34 of the Planning Act to give the public an opportunity to express their views in regard to a proposed amendment to the Township of Springwater zoning bylaw 5000 as amended. The first part of this meeting is to present the amendment. Following that, the public will be given an opportunity to make an oral submission through the Zoom application. Any person wishing to make an oral submission must have notified the township prior to 8:30 a.m. this morning and must have been added to the commenters list. If a person or public body who files an appeal of a decision of the Township of Springwater in respect of a proposed zoning bylaw amendment does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or written submissions to the Township of Springwater before the proposed zoning bylaw amendments are passed, the local planning appeal tribunal may dismiss all or part of the appeal. All comments or questions should be addressed through myself as chair. Oral submissions will be included in this meeting's minutes and form part of the public record, including the name and address of the speaker as information collected under the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, and the minutes of the meeting will be posted on the township's website. Tonight, we're dealing with ZB 2020-016 by T. Kawal of Innovative Planning Solutions on behalf of R. Pretty at 16 McFadden Drive. I'll now call upon the clerk to confirm notice of this meeting and the dates on which notice was given, please.
Notice of this public meeting was mailed on the 26th day of January 2021 to the owner of the subject lands and to the assessed owners of 36 properties in the Township of Springwater within 120 meters of the area to which the proposed amendment would apply, and to all persons and public bodies as prescribed under the Planning Act and its regulations. Notice was also posted at the assessed property to which the proposed amendment applies at a location that was visible from McFadden Drive. The notice was also placed on the township website.
And has the planning department received any correspondence in response to the notice of the public meeting?
Correspondence was received from the Ministry of Transportation in an email dated January 26, 2021, as well as the operations coordinator of the Township of Springwater in an email dated January 26, 2021, and the correspondence can be found in the agenda package.
I'll now call upon T. Kawal of Innovative Planning Solutions to give a brief explanation of the purpose and effect of the proposal, please.
Hello. If everybody can hear me, I'm just going to share my video and my screen. So can everybody hear me and can everybody see the presentation I have up on the screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Perfect. So good evening, everyone. My name is Tyler Kaywell, and I'm a planner with Innovative Planning Solutions, here on behalf of the applicant regarding an application for zoning bylaw amendment for 16 McFadden Drive in Hillsdale. The subject property is outlined in red in this image. It features approximately 45.3 meters or 148 feet of frontage on McFadden Drive and is approximately 3,600 meters squared or 0.36 hectares in size. The property is oversized relative to other lots in the subdivision. It's with a substantial west side yard, as you can see if I highlight my cursor over the side yard here, relative to other lots in the area. The lot is also quite deep. However, there's considerable increase in elevation in the back half of the rear yard. So the property does, I should note, it's fairly flat at the bottom half, but then it does increase in elevation quite a bit near the back fence line. The property currently contains a single detached home positioned near the east lot line and a septic system in the front yard currently. In the top image, you can see the existing home and the large west side yard. And the lower image just gives you a better look at that large west side yard. As you may know, Hillsdale offers many attributes for everyday living, including schools, commercial amenities, and parks, one of which is, of course, located immediately east of the subject property. Subject property being, of course, highlighted in red here. This slide shows the variety of housing which forms the character of the Highlands of Hillsdale subdivision. As you can see, there are a variety of 1- and 2-story detached homes of varying shapes and sizes on lots with varying sizes, frontages, and yard setbacks. The property is designated urban residential per the Hillsdale secondary plan and zoned residential or R1-21 in the Springwater zoning bylaw, as are the majority of other lots in this subdivision. The applicant proposes to sever the property, resulting in a new severed lot with approximately 20 meters of frontage on McFadden Drive and comprising an area of approximately 1,733 meters squared. The lot would accommodate one new infill dwelling while retaining the existing dwelling on the retained lot. The retained lot would possess approximately 25.3 meters of frontage on McFadden Drive with an area of approximately 1,866 meters squared. I should note that the area shown in dark gray on the drawing demonstrates a conceptual building footprint only and does not reflect the ultimate size, shape, or placement of the proposed home. And that dark area I'm referring to is right here. The new custom-built home would be designed to complement the character of the neighborhood. It'll also be built, I should note, by Advantage Homes, which is a custom home builder local to the area and well known. Like the existing home, the new home would be served with individual sewage. The applicant proposes a new septic system in the front yard for the severed lot, and the existing septic for the retained house would be shifted east to clear the new lot line. We have completed a zoning analysis for both the severed and retained lots with the results shown here. Severing the existing property would result in a lot frontage of approximately 20 meters or 65 feet, whereas the R1-21 zone requires a minimum frontage of 22 meters or approximately 72 feet. This represents a deficiency of give or take 2 meters or 6.5 feet. All of the zoning provisions of the severed and retained lots and homes would be met following the severance, I should note, as you can see in the stats provided in this table. In order to address the frontage deficiency and permit a severance of the property, the applicant proposes to amend the zoning of the proposed lands by introducing a new special provision, which would permit a minimum frontage of 19 meters. This slide shows the area proposed to be amended from R1-21 to R1 with a new special provision to address the frontage deficiency. And to make this clear, while our best measurements taken from an existing survey of record make us confident that the frontage of 20 meters can indeed be achieved, We are requesting approvals for a minimum frontage of 19 meters to take a conservative approach prior to a survey update, which will of course confirm the ultimate frontage of the new lot, which will likely be a condition of severance approval should it move to committee of adjustment for severance. In summary, a zoning bylaw amendment is required to permit a reduced frontage associated with a portion of the property proposed for severance. The amendment would allow for future severance of the property for infilling purposes without zoning conflicts. The application would enable appropriate low-density growth within the Hillsdale community and represents a more efficient use of land and available infrastructure. The proposed custom-built home would be constructed to a high standard and will be designed to complement the character of the surrounding neighborhood. The county of Simcoe is expected to reach a population of about 555,000 residents by 2051. And the township of Springwater must accommodate at least 15% of all new residential development through intensification within existing built-up areas of settlement areas in the township. And that's a policy in the Simcoe County official plan. For these reasons, the application is consistent with the goals and objectives of all levels of planning policy and represents good planning. This concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions or comments you might have at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kewal. I'll now call upon the moderator to provide the number of people who have registered to ask questions or make comments regarding this application.
Thank you, Mayor Allen. There are no members of the public who have registered to make an oral submission concerning this application.
Okay, thank you. Do any members of council have questions or comments regarding this application? Councillor Cabral.
Thank you, Mayor Allen, and through you to Mr. Kewal. If I understood him correctly, this drawing shows where the proposed septics will be, but I think I heard him say that they were going to shift the existing septic over in order to meet the lot line requirements. And I was just curious if they were going to do that. Given the amount of frontage that they have, is there a specific reason why they can't just split that 45 feet in half? Unless, of course, I misheard what Mr. Kewal said, and they're planning on not moving the existing septic bed, and that's the reason why they're doing it. So I just was wanting some clarification there.
Mr. Kewal, please.
Yes, through the mayor. Just to clarify, yes, you're correct. The lot is about 45 meters squared currently as existing. And it's not quite possible to cleanly sever the lot in half, meaning equal frontages on both, just because of the nature of where the existing home is located on the property. So we've taken the approach where, of course, we're applying the minimum side yard setbacks where we're creating this new lot line. So essentially, to make it clear, the existing home, we're applying the minimum side yard on the west side yard of the existing home to draw the new essential lot line. And that leaves a maximum lot frontage for the severed lot that we can achieve, which we believe is close to 20 meters, if that clarifies.
Okay, thank you.
So Planner Russell, this severance contemplates having two lots that meet the minimum area requirement. Is that correct?
Mayor Allen, yes, absolutely. If council was to approve this rezoning request, the Committee of Adjustment would have basically two legal lots before them to consider a severance on.
Okay. So whereas in the recent past, we've been dealing with severances that result in lots that aren't of sufficient size individually, this is not the case here.
Correct. I mean, this is sort of, say, putting the cart before the horse, but there is a good reason for it in that the existing subdivision, being the Highlands of Hillsdale, are already reduced from the normal 30-meter frontage to 22 meters. So the question before council is 20 meters or 19 meters acceptable versus the existing 22 for the entire subdivision? And asking that question first of council will sort of pave the way for the Committee of Adjustment.
Thank you. Other questions, comments? Mr. Kowal, do you anticipate a two-story house on this or a bungalow, or is that possible to say at this point?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's possible to say at this point. It could be one or the other. I'm not positive. I believe the home builder is still in the process of, Advantage Homes is still in the process of determining what exactly the build form will be of the house. Obviously, it'll be a single detached home, but the question is how large, where exactly it's placed, whether it's 1 or 2 story, the exact number of bedrooms. We're anticipating, of course, it's not going to be really out of character for the neighborhood. Whatever gets built, it would be 3 to 4 bedrooms would be pretty expected. Whether it's 1 or 2 story, we're not sure yet. Of course, it'll comply with every other zoning provision. So,
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments of council? Okay. Thank you to all who participated in the public meeting with respect to the proposed zoning bylaw amendment and for showing interest in this matter. May I have a mover and seconder to adjourn this public meeting, please? Councillor Cabral, Councillor Ma Chapman, that this public meeting of council held under section 34 of the Planning Act for application ZB 2020-016, Reprete, does now adjourn at 6:46 p.m. All those in favor? That is carried. Okay. Okay, there's no adjourn. So direction following the public meeting. Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Councillor Ritchie. Councillor Moore. Council, having held a public meeting in accordance with section 34 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990 P13 as amended on application ZB 2020-016, Reprete, have noted correspondence and input received, direct that the application be referred back to staff. All those in favor? It is carried. Mover and seconder for the confirmatory bylaw, please. Councillor Ma and Deputy Mayor Coughlin, that the bylaw 2021-019 to confirm and adopt the proceedings of council at the special meeting held on February 22nd, 2021, listed herein, be signed and sealed by the mayor and clerk. All those in favor? That is carried. And a motion to adjourn, please. Deputy Mayor Coughlin, Councillor Moore, that the special meeting of the Township of Springwater does now adjourn at 6:48 p.m. to meet again a regular meeting on March 3rd, 2021 at 6:30 p.m. All those in favor? And I believe that is a record. Stay safe. Good night.
Good night, everybody.